Okay, welcome to the first video in the market structure section of the course. And this is just an overview video to kind of touch base on what we're going to be talking about in this section of the course. Also, just want to let you know that depending on where you started in the course, this is actually like the beginning of really learning smart money concepts. So there's a lot of other sections in the course for more beginner traders. And if you're at this point in the course, it is because you're actually now going to embark on learning smart money concepts and the actual core fundamentals of what the strategy is about and what these concepts are about. Okay. And in doing so, when you learn market structure, it's important to remember that market structure is the absolute foundational piece to your understanding of everything else that we're going to build on. Okay. So market structure is the base that, or like the foundation to the knowledge that you're going to be gaining from here on. And if you don't understand market structure, then I just want to urge you to rewatch this section as many times as you possibly can or need in order to understand it. Because if you don't understand it 100% and you move on to the next sections after this, those sections are not going to be as effective as they could be if you took the time to understand this 100%. Okay. So again, just a quick reminder that this is not a race. This is a journey. And this is information that's very valuable and that when applied correctly and when understood correctly can be very powerful for your life and for what you're doing with your trading. So that being said, I just want to really stress that market structure it's so important. Like it's one of the biggest sections in the course. And there's a reason, because it's so important that you have to know where you're going when we're doing what we're doing with this, right? And market structure helps us define where we're going and why we're going there. And in doing that, you can then frame everything else. Everything else you're going to learn after this will be so much easier by just understanding the basic market structure or market structure as a whole, right? So yeah, I just wanted to really stress that. I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that, but it is important if you want to, in order to get the most value out of this and the best understanding, this section is the absolute foundational thing that you need to understand. So in this section, what we're going to be talking about is breaks of structure, understanding ranges and legs. Basically, throughout this course, I'm going to be talking about the same thing, but there's many different keywords that myself and others use. That's ranges, legs, runs, things like that. They're all, you'll see as we go on, they're all basically the same thing. I'm also going to give you a new perspective on highs and lows and trending markets that you'll be able to see very clearly without using any indicators. There is one thing, if you haven't watched it yet, there's a trading view setup video that you'll want to definitely watch before you actually go into this. If you already have your trading view set up the way that we use it for smart money concepts, then it's totally great. You can just continue on. If you don't, definitely check that video out before going on into this section. We're also going to understand and work towards understanding premium and discount ranges, which is basically smart money repricing to different highs and lows, getting a better deal on the asset or the instrument that we're buying or selling. We're then going to talk about fractal structure, swing structure, strong and weak highs and lows, or otherwise known as protected highs and lows. And then we're going to start building onto multi-time frame analysis. Okay, and that's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. And most people, I'm assuming, if you're anything like me, you're going to struggle with a little bit with multi-time frame analysis in the beginning. And when you get to these points where you do start to struggle, which I know that there's going to be people that come in and have a hard time with this, just remember, just rewatch it like a million times. Reach out in the group and ask questions. Don't be afraid to say I don't get it. I need help with this, whatever. And I'm not trying to set you up for failure by saying all this stuff, but I'm just trying to remind you to be aware of the fact that multi-time frame analysis is one of the trickier things that we're going to learn. And I do my best. There's I think 4 videos or 5 videos of multi-time frame analysis that are very long, very in-depth. But if you don't get it, just ask for help, ask questions, reach out in the group, and ask some of the more experienced members what it is or figure out what you're struggling with in terms of whatever it is that you're struggling with. Okay. And so after we learn multi-time frame analysis, we're then also going to learn kind of like pro trend and counter trend moves and how to define that based on the time frames you're looking at. We're also going to talk about trend changes, internal structure, and structure mapping. And then we're going to put it all together, and we're going to talk about what does and does not matter at the end of the day, which is basically, you get a lot of people that say, well, my charts look slightly different than yours, but we're still taking the same trades. Why is that? And we're going to break that down in detail at the end of this section. So all in all, there's about 20 to 25 lessons in this section. And again, just to wrap up this video, I just want to remind you just to take your time, watch each video multiple times. Like I talked about in the beginning of the course, really recommend watching everything at least 2 times, if not 3, before moving on to the next lesson. Or you can also just, go through the section once and then repeat it a second time and then repeat it a third time as a whole, however you want to break it down, and whatever works best for your learning style. I just want to remind you that it is, this does get pretty deep, but you have to get pretty deep in order to simplify and understand it. So enjoy this content. And again, if you have any questions, definitely reach out in the group. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next videos.